Hey, Mike Gonzalez. So really excited to have Kyle Council Member Robert Rizzo. Now he's very hardworking council member. You're definitely in the community. You're not just. It's not just about being up on the dais. It's actually kind of hands-on, figuring out every way you can help citizens. One thing that we are talking about this past weekend, you're out at Lehman High School doing the Central Texas Food Bank, and I understand you had a pretty good response. There's a lot of folks out there. Just tell us about what you saw when you were out there. How many packets of food did you all give out? All that good stuff.
So one of the things that we've been noticing is the need is still very great in Kyle. That goes back to people being unemployed or reduction in hours. So people still have a need of a little bit of help assistance, and we were able to serve over 1,300 families this past weekend,
It's amazing.
and that
It's great.
that's providing a box of frozen food, meats, and also vegetables. We usually give out milk as well. This time we were a little low, so weren't able to do that, but we usually give out milk as well. But it's
And
great
and you were out there the whole time, right? Pretty much.
pretty much the entire time.
What
And
time did y'all get started? What time did you end up leaving there?
so the event starts at 9, but we show up a lot earlier than that
Yeah.
to set up, and then from there we have to break everything down afterwards. But the Central Texas Food Bank does a great job of coordinating everything, the traffic flow. They have a plan in place before they even get out there, and they're emailing us the plan in place, the route they're going to take, and they're also
And
vigil of the car count as they're coming in, so they know whether they need to bring in more food or not. So
oh,
they're keeping a constant count on it.
so logistics, amazing, right? As far
Amazing.
and how many cars did y'all have? What was a car count that went through?
I think it was 1,300 to 1,300 cars that came through this past weekend, just a little bit over,
Right.
and this has been consistent. I think last month, because it was a little small, a shorter notice, because we had lost our facility, we were using the small direct building, and we
Right.
switched over. We served a little bit over 1,100 families, but it was kind of a crazy weekend. It was short notice, but now that the notice has been out, people know where to go. We see the numbers increasing. But the the
Right.
one thing I'd like to point out that this is a very well structured event that gets takes place. We were able to service cars in a great number in a short amount of time because it's so well coordinated by Jeff Gonzalez and Central Texas Food Bank. They do a great job.
Right. And it's just amazing the fact that you guys were able to get that many cars through. It's just personally thank you for volunteering. Now, you had a bigger role to play in this than just what happened this past Saturday out in Lehman. Can you talk about how we ended up bringing this here into Kyle?
So this came to fruition back in late April of this past year. We Jeff Gonzalez reached out to me and St. Anthony's Catholic Church about building boxes and filling them with food because they had a shortage of boxes and manpower. So I reached out to a lot of the churches around the area, and St. Anthony stepped up to the plate, and we're able to, with along with Monty Gottman, who's a parishioner with St. Anthony's as well. Her and I were able to coordinate the box building, keeping everybody safe, keeping our all the safety precautions implemented: mask wearing, sanitizing, gloves.
Right.
I was really worried about this was back in April when people were still didn't know a lot about COVID-19. So getting volunteers was really hard, but there was people that really stepped up, and, in a way, I think they're heroes because they put their lives on the line because we didn't know anything about COVID.
Yeah,
And so
yeah, and
they're
they were
actually
willing
taking,
to step up because they
yep,
saw that community need, and
yeah,
I think
definitely.
that's great about our community.
Oh yeah, we actually were filling, I believe, 1,400 boxes in
It's
4 days
amazing.
that we're operating. So that's 1,400 families that you're providing a box of meal for in a week, and we were doing that weekly. And we actually, I think, we were the fastest box building church in Central Texas, and they actually asked us to slow down a little bit because we were getting too fast. They couldn't keep up with us,
Funny.
so it was great.
Well, you were
It's pretty
you were
exciting.
passionate about what you were doing. Now, the city of Kyle themselves had a specific role here, and talk a little bit about that and how that happened.
So one of the things that happened is that I started posting, what we were doing at St. Anthony's, and some of the citizens in Kyle started reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, we have a need here in Kyle. How do we get some of these boxes that you're building, that, because our families need them. And I reached out to Jeff Gonzalez, and we were able to coordinate with the city manager, with the staff, and the police department, TDS, Texas Disposal System,
Mhm.
and also with Smile Direct, and get the facility and be able to implement the food distribution here in Kyle. And Jeff did a great job of coordinating everything. We're able to bring everything together and start the mass food distributions. Just in the first week, I think the first event we held, I think we had over 1,500 families served
Wow.
that day. And we're now way over 6,000 families served completely in the city of Kyle since we started the food drive. But that's kind of how it came to fruition. The staff was amazing to work with. They were excited to do this. They've come out and helped as well. City staff is what I'm talking about. And TDS has been providing, the sanitary conditions for us, the bathrooms, the wash stations, everything. So it's been a partnership. And now with the school district involved, ACISD, it's really coming to fruition, because once Smile Direct, the building became unavailable, we were able to shift everything over to Layman, and it's worked out really, really great. Unfortunately, we're having a little difficulty with some traffic there, but it's something
Right.
we're hoping to rectify as we're coming to next month when we do our next food distribution.
Yeah, and that was the follow up I was going to ask is how often are they going to do the distributions, and how far into the future are y'all planning to do this?
We're gonna hopefully we can continue this until the need subsides here in Kyle. With the pandemic still going fully and people still unemployed and not all the businesses running at full capacity, I think the need's going to be there for a while. And I want to continue to make sure that we can provide meals for the families that are here in Kyle or Central Texas in general. And as long as there's a need in here in Kyle, we're going to continue to distribute the food here in Kyle.
Well, Councilmember Rizzo, thanks so much for what you've done on that. Thanks for volunteering. I know there's a need. There's a lot of folks volunteering in different areas, and this is something that's definitely a priority. So again, just thanks so much for giving your time and kind of doing everything that you do for the community. Very hands on. I know you're very hands on when it comes to helping the community.
I also want to thank all the elected officials that have come out during this time. Uh, I actually learned a little bit before I was on council. Uh, Past council member Daphne Tenorio actually put on a food drive at Lehman almost 2 years ago, and that stayed in my mind on how the families were so welcoming and so thankful for this help, and to see their looks on their faces,
Yeah.
and the gratitude and sometimes tears. It really makes you feel good about what you're doing, and know that you're doing the right thing when you're providing a service like this for everyone.
And it's great that the school district also joined in partnership, not just for the logistics of it, but also because, I imagine they're great at getting the word out. They're very close to the students, to the families that a lot of them have the need. So they're kind of closer to the families, right? It's just knowing the day to day stuff and just getting the word out. So it's great that you guys were able to build that partnership. It just makes it more impactful.
It actually, they do a great job of getting the word out. And there was one event that one month that we didn't do a great job of getting the communications out, and we were able to call the superintendent, and he got it out really quick, and the lines just came out of nowhere. People just came out of the woodwork, and it was
Yeah.
great to help all those people out. And it's amazing, the partnerships here. It's when the community, the school district, when the businesses all partner up together, there's some great things that can accomplish here in Kyle for the citizens. And I want to thank them all for taking a role in this, to help out the families in this time of need.
Hey, if somebody wants to either donate or volunteer, where should they go to be able to do that?
Yeah, Central Texas Food Bank, just log on and they'll have volunteer hours. And just remember, monetary donations go further if you give them to the food bank instead of going out and buying food, because they can buy more food
Yeah.
for less dollars. So that's something that also remember, the monetary donations go a long way when it comes to the Central Texas Food Bank. And they also provide some food to the Hayes County Food Bank as well. So
Right.
it all stays in this area. So it's a great thing about it.
All right. Perfect. Well, again, thanks for taking the time. I know you got a council meeting to get off to here in a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. You have a great one. Thank you very much.